It happened quietly, without a press conference, without a breaking news banner, and without most people even noticing. But the moment Kayla Nicole typed those words, the story stopped being just about an injury and turned into something much deeper. Because this wasn't about clout. This wasn't about headlines. And this definitely wasn't about attention. This was about athletes recognizing pain in other athletes, even when they play different sports, live different lives, and stand on completely different stages. Here's the part that hits hardest. Kysre Gondrezick was only 1 week away. 1 week. 7 days from reporting for the athlete's unlimited pro basketball season. 7 days from a fresh chapter. 7 days from proving, again, that she still belonged. And then, in one workout, everything changed. Achilles injuries don't announce themselves politely. They don't give warnings. They don't ask if you're ready. They just take. They take explosiveness, momentum, confidence, and sometimes entire careers. Anyone who has followed sports long enough knows that an Achilles tear is one of the most feared phrases in athletics, right up there with words that make locker rooms go silent. On Sunday, while training at the University of Miami, Kysre Gondrezick felt that moment. The moment where the body says no, even when the mind is screaming yes. The moment athletes replay forever, wondering if there was anything they could have done differently. By Wednesday, she broke the silence. Her Instagram post wasn't flashy. It wasn't dramatic. It was raw, emotional, and honest. She didn't hide the devastation. She didn't pretend to be okay. She admitted the pain of being so close, and that honesty is what made the post resonate. She thanked Athletes Unlimited for something bigger than basketball. She said they gave her purpose, hope, a reason to keep chasing a dream that hasn't always treated her kindly. She thanked the Miami Hurricanes athletic staff for stepping in quickly, for guiding her through a moment no athlete ever wants to face. And buried in the comments, without blue-check theatrics or attention-seeking emojis, Kayla Nicole showed up. Sending prayers of strength and healing your way, sis. That was it. No essay. No hashtags. No cameras. Just empathy. Now let's pause here, because this is where the story becomes bigger than Kayla Nicole, bigger than Gondrezick, and bigger than one injury. Kayla Nicole has spent years being reduced to a label she never asked for. Ex-girlfriend. Social media personality. Public figure attached to someone else's fame. But moments like this reveal who she actually is when nobody is forcing her to perform. She consistently shows up when athletes are hurting. This isn't new. And that's the part most people miss. Kysre Gondrezick's journey itself deserves respect. A first-round pick in the 2021 WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever, she entered the league with expectations heavy enough to crush confidence if things don't break right immediately. The WNBA is ruthless in that way. Roster spots are limited. Patience is rare. One slow season can feel like a lifetime sentence. In 2024, she suited up for the Chicago Sky, fighting to carve out her space. And yes, in 2025, she made headlines outside basketball after being featured as Miss June in Playboy. Some people focused on that. Others tried to use it to define her. But athletes are not one-dimensional, and careers don't end just because narratives get lazy. Athletes Unlimited was supposed to be a reset. A platform that values skill, leadership, and adaptability. A chance to compete, grow, and be seen again for what she does on the court. That's why this injury hurts differently. Because it didn't come during a game. It didn't come after a long season. It came during preparation. Preparation is sacred to athletes. It's where hope lives. It's where belief grows. And losing that space can feel like losing identity itself. Kayla Nicole understands that. You don't have to play professional basketball to understand athletic grief. You just have to listen, and she listens more than people realize. And if this was a one-off moment, it would still matter. But it's not. Just days earlier, Kayla Nicole reacted to another moment that shook the sports world. Mike Tomlin, 19 years. That's not a coaching tenure. That's an era. When the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach stepped away, the NFL world froze for a moment. Love him or criticize him, you cannot deny his consistency, leadership, and presence. Coaches like that don't just leave teams. They leave legacies. When ESPN posted the news, Kayla Nicole shared it to her Instagram story with a single word. OMG. That word carried weight because it reflected what so many fans felt. Shock, disbelief, respect, the understanding that the league had just shifted, even if we don't yet know how. And then there's George Kittle, San Francisco's heart and soul tight end, a player known for toughness, joy, and relentless effort. During the wild-card matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, Kittle suffered an Achilles tear. Another devastating blow. He took to Instagram the next day, thanking supporters, acknowledging the pain, and promising to fight his way back. Kayla Nicole was there again, offering support, encouragement, and presence. No cameras, no agenda, just support. And that's the connective tissue in this entire story. Kayla Nicole exists in the margins of sports culture, where empathy lives. She's not reporting scores. She's not breaking news. She's reacting as a human being who understands how fragile careers really are. Here's my personal take. We've reached a point in sports media where injuries are treated like transactions. A player goes down, and immediately we talk about cap space, replacements, timelines, and fantasy implications. We forget that for the athlete, the first night after surgery is quiet, painful, and terrifying. What Kayla Nicole does, whether intentionally or not, is remind us of that human side. Now, let's be clear about rumors versus facts. Fact. Kysre Gondrezick suffered an Achilles tear during training and is out for the athlete's unlimited season. Fact. Kayla Nicole commented publicly, offering prayers and support. Fact. Mike Tomlin resigned after 19 years, and Kayla Nicole reacted on social media. Fact. George Kittle suffered an Achilles injury and received support from fans, including Kayla Nicole. Rumor. There is no confirmed deeper relationship or hidden meaning behind these interactions. Anyone suggesting otherwise is speculating, not reporting. And that matters, because the real story isn't gossip. It's consistency. Kayla Nicole shows up when athletes fall. That's not glamorous. It doesn't trend the way scandals do, but it builds something more important. Trust, respect, community. And for athletes like Gondrezick, that support matters more than people realize. Rehabilitation is lonely. Recovery is repetitive. Motivation fades. Seeing someone acknowledge your pain can be the difference between giving up and pushing through another brutal day of rehab. As someone who follows sports obsessively, here's my prediction. Kysre Gondrezick will come back. Maybe not immediately. Maybe not in the way people expect. But athletes who've faced public scrutiny, private doubt, and physical setbacks often return with a different kind of strength. Achilles injuries don't end careers the way they used to, but they do test identity. If she chooses to continue, Athletes Unlimited or the WNBA may still see her again. As for Kayla Nicole, I think her role in sports culture is evolving. She's not trying to be an analyst. She's not trying to be a reporter. She's becoming something rarer. Connector. Someone who understands the emotional economy of sports. And that's why moments like this resonate. So here's the question I want you to answer in the comments, and think about it honestly. Do we value athletes enough when they're hurt, or only when they're winning? Because how we answer that says a lot about the kind of sports fans we really are. This is NFLXposed, where we don't just talk about headlines, we talk about what they mean. Stay locked in, because the stories behind the stories are always the ones that matter most.